In the testimonials of people who survived in the Van province, we come across three names. Tahir Han, who was active between Muradiye and Keleni of Iran, and Mutullah Bey from Müküs, and Murat Ağa from Erciş Gratskar village. These three names try to stop the killings, deportations, and the massacres by facing up to the state. And particularly for two of these, they pay a heavy price. Tahir Han is killed, according to testimonials, and Murat Ağa seems that the tribes kill his sons and nephews. Okay, we'll start with the first one, Tahir Han. Here, Tahir Bey is from the Malashero branch of the Haydaran tribe, and he is known as Tahir Han or Mir Tahir, as the name suggests. The leader Tahir, Mir Tahir. Muradiye is the new name for the Bargiri village. And Tahir Bey acted in a very conscientious manner. And then, when the attacks on the village start, some of the Bargiri Armenians take shelter in Tahir Bey. The authorities ask Tahir Bey to give the Armenians to the state, but Tahir Bey does not support the state powers in 1915. He thinks this will be a disgrace to his honor, so he doesn't give the Armenians. Well, two different witnesses talk about the same tragic ending, only in different details. According to Mushek Mgrditsyan, Tahir Bey opposes to the killing of Armenians in the labor battalions. This is why, in a dinner he's having with the gendarmerie and the mayor, gendarmerie commandant-in-chief and the mayor, he is intoxicated and killed. Now, I'd like to talk about the second person, Mutullah Bey. An imagination to coexist together in Müküs. In the 45 villages of Müküs, about 4,500 Armenians are protected by Mutullah Bey until August 1915. His family works as a Müküs Mir position for a long time, and in the conditions of 1915, of course, a very extraordinary and a very fragile status is maintained in a way. Karlen Chacha collects testimonials on that people of Müküs say this about Mutullah Bey. Well, it's said that this, and this was said often in the region, Mutullah Bey has 100 eyes, 100 ears. If he hears that someone does something unrightful to if a Kurd makes something unrightful to an Armenian, then you won't be able to take that person out of his hands. And also it's said that the Üzümlü village Armenians under Pervari in the 1895 massacres are also saved by Mutullah Bey. We see that many other Armenians also come and take refuge in Müküs. Again, we know that Mutullah Bey positioned people he trusted in and children in villagers' homes. But it is still very surprising that he continued with this position also in 1915. Some people explain this with his high reverence in the eyes of the society and of the state. Of course, Mutullah Bey cannot keep this for a long time. In May, when the soldiers come to the city, then he regresses to Perveri, and his imagination to coexist actually becomes only a dream. And then Mutullah Bey dies in 1922 before seeing that his family is exiled in 1925 with the justification of Sheikh Said rebellion. Müküs is also someone who tries to protect the natural habitat and the natural, specific animals of the habitat. He, for example, prohibits hunting at the times when the goats and the sheep come down the mountains. Erciş. It is from the Gratskar village of Erciş. In the middle of April 1915, armed men put siege on the village, and about 40 people take shelter in Murat Ağa's house. Murat Ağa tries to defend, but he fails, and they kill them next to Deliçay. And Murat Ağa at least tries to save their families, the killed ones' families. Now, Gülizar Bedelyan gives us the testimonial. She's from Gratskar. She says, Murat Ağa made us eat and took really good care of us. The attackers leave, but then this time the Hamidiye battalions come and they say, we will burn down your house if you have an Armenian with you, and give us them if you have any. And Murat Ağa says, kill me, I will not give you anyone. But still, the Gratskar Armenians cannot stay in the village a long time, so they go to Erciş and then in July to Caucasia. Now, Gratskar, which is close to Erciş, became the Kadir Asker village. And when we visited the village in August 2015, we saw that it's very much like Richard Hovhannisyan's book. It's in the orchards, it has bostans, which are, again, fruit gardens and orchards, etc. And there are apple orchards, and we talked to our witness in an apple orchard as well. The grandchild of Murat Ağa said that back then there were 30 homes in the village, 15 Muslim, 15 Armenians. And also, although Sıdık Yıldız said there's no more the Aga sort of tribal relation, but again, it is very much present. Sıdık Yıldız heard about his grandfather, and she says that the fact that Murat Ağa protected the Armenians caused rage in the tribes living close by. And she said this is why they always were revengeful towards Murat Ağa. And one day they beat and batter Murat Ağa's son and his nephews. But Murat Ağa still doesn't submit to them, they say. But then still they have to leave their village. When the Russians come, Murat Ağa and the Kurds in the village have to leave. But it's a very difficult journey, and Murat Ağa dies because of the harsh conditions at the age of 60. He loves the nature and looks at the trees for hours long, deeply interrogates the branches and the leaves of a tree, teaches Quran, etc. And they say that Deliçay, the crazy brook, so to speak, took its name from Murat Ağa. Someone says, well, Murat Ağa went through this brook or river by saying it is a flowing river which looks crazy. I am crazy, so is my horse, so let's call this the crazy river. And obviously he thought that this place, he wanted to remember this place with identification with his grandfather, and hopefully one day it will be remembered like that.